Thanks for joining me. I'm Darryl Ponton. Today I got a few miscellaneous aluminum items that I'm going to tear apart. And I'm going to show you how I tear it apart step by step. Alright, here's the items we're working with today. Looks like we got an old water pump, carburetor off a lawnmower, piece off of a grill, a spray gun, and a fuel pump. We'll start with the spray gun first. Bring this over to the vise to make it a little easier. First thing we're going to do, we're going to take off anything that a wrench or screwdriver fits on. Take the simple stuff off first. Some of it's a little complicated, but you don't have to worry if you break it because you're just going to junk it anyway. A lot of people can't afford expensive tools, specific tools for every job, especially when you're scrapping. If you had a lot of money, you probably wouldn't be scrapping anyway. Now, if you're not for sure that it's aluminum, take a file or a sawzall or a blade, just cut into it. It's going to be soft and you're going to have a silver looking color. Sometimes it could be brass and it'll be silver plated like this. You don't want to mix your brass in with your aluminum. You get a lot more for brass than what you do aluminum. This piece right here, the one I'm taking out right now. It could be aluminum, but you can see on that little edge that I filed off, it's a goldish color, so that means it's brass. So if you look at it like this, it looks like steel or aluminum. I don't get in too big of a hurry doing this. Right now the prices are too low anyway, so no matter how much you get cleaned up, I'm not going to bring it anyway till the prices go back up. So it's not no race against the clock. You race against the clock when the prices get up there. Now is the time to stock it up so you don't have to race against the clock. Learn how to use whatever tools you have available. Most of the tools I got, about 90% of them I found in the trash. I know it probably looks like it, but you know, it doesn't matter. They're going to get all beat up and you're going to have to buy new ones anyway. I'm not going to go spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on something that I'm only going to use once or twice. Alright, I got a little clip I got to get out of here. I'm almost 60 years old and I still learn stuff every single day. There's a lot of people that know a lot more than I do. There's a lot of people that know a lot less. But it doesn't mean that you can't learn. That's why I think scrapping is a good tool to teach you. It teaches you how to problem solve and figure something out, because sometimes you don't have the right tools, so you have to use other methods. And some of the stuff it's my first time tearing it apart, so there's a lot of things to be learned still. Like this. How's that supposed to come out of there? I have no idea. We'll try going up with it. I assume that this piece comes out this way, but to be honest, I haven't tore a lot of these apart. Yep, there we go. After we get everything apart, we'll go back through and file it to make sure that there's no brass pieces in there that we're getting mixed in. We don't want to get cheated on the price after all this hard work. And it may go the other way. Oh, it's definitely going to be tricky to get apart. It's no doubt. Now the videos that I make in the shorts, I added a lot of the troublesome stuff out. You only got 1 minute to make a video, so you can't put all that stuff in there in 1 minute. There's a lot of times it's difficult. scrape your fingers, cut yourself, smash your fingers. If you're not afraid of getting your hands greasy, then junking is okay for you. But if you don't want to get your hands greasy, you might not want to take up scrapping, because you're going to get your hands greasy, that's for sure. A lot of the stuff really ain't worth it to tear apart. You know, it all adds up. If I take apart $5 worth of junk a day, so what if it takes me an hour? Every day is $5. After I take apart 365 days, who's counting the hours? I'm not. Alright, let's see, maybe we can get down in here. See what we got there. Hey, we got one that works. And once you know, it's turning on the other side. Of course, there's a little ingenuity here. Figure this one out. Drive something down in this hole. Got something to hold on. Yeah, a lot of viewers say it's too much work for too little money. And you know, they're probably right. For over 40 years, so I really don't care how long it takes. I'm not going to give it up now. I don't care. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I'm going to keep stacking it up. I might only put $5 or $10 of junk away, but you know, by the end of the year, I'll have $1,500, $2,000 worth of junk. By the time the price goes back up, I mean, I don't know about you, but I can use the extra $1,500, $2,000. Here we go. That's brass. That's what I'm talking about. You probably needed a special tool to do that. But you got to use your brain and try to figure it out. Whatever method works for you. You don't have to do it my way. All right, here's all our items from the spray gun. It probably took us about 15 or 20 minutes to take it apart. We got aluminum here. We got our steel. And we got a little bit of brass. Maybe a total together about $3 or $4 worth of scrap when the prices are good. All right, this next item, I believe it's an old fuel pump off an old tractor. Let's take it apart and recover the valuable metals. Tearing apart some of this older stuff is interesting. Some of the items I've never seen before. Once in a while I get a comment, people tell me that was worth something, but it's only worth what the buyer wants to pay. I've had stuff worth something, try to get rid of it, and you can't sell it, you can't sell it. Well, if I can't sell it and get any money, I'm gonna scrap it. I mean, if somebody wants it, they'll have to come and get it. And it's got a few brass fittings on it. That's how you can tell it's older. Newer stuff don't really use too much brass or copper. They try to chintz out with aluminum, like the motors. The YouTube channel is getting close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. We appreciate everyone watching and following along and subscribing. You still have to have 4,000 watch hours. The shorts don't count for your watch hours. We just found that out. If that was the case, that I already have that in the bag. Once you're monetized, then they count the hours. But for the requirements, 4,000 watch hours of full videos. When you're doing YouTube, you got to read the fine print. We'll get there eventually. To help you subscribers, you guys watch our stuff and make a lot of nice comments and encourage us. Appreciate that very much. That's why I just keep on making more videos so people can see me do things and tear things apart. A lot of people don't have time, but they like to watch the content. I watch a lot of other channels. I got my favorites also. And there's some that's not so favorite. You can't get away from them, but you don't have to watch them. Scrapping's not for everybody, but we do have an elite crowd of scrappers that we all think the same way. Trying to make a few extra bucks. Trying to learn a quicker way to take it apart. Alright, we got something holding in there. I think I got a pin I gotta knock out of there. Yeah, I like to make a variety of different type of videos because a lot of people don't want to hear people yammering on about stuff. They just want to get to the meat of it. And other people want to hear you talk. So, you know, it's a toss-up. You gotta make a little bit of everything to try to please everyone. Let's see if this will work. Oh, look at there. Look at there. How about that? Something in there holding it. Oh, I see it. There's a little clip right there. Oh, you can't see it. It's hard to get in there and get a shot sometimes so viewers can see what I'm trying to do. You can see that there. All right, let me turn this light on. Maybe. All right. Let's see. There's what's holding it right there, but that's what I mean. Some of this stuff is tricky. There we go. Alright, let me get that spring out of there. So that's what was holding it in there. This little hook was in there like this. In case you want to take one of them apart, you know what you're dealing with. Here's what we got out of that old fuel pump. Got a little bit of brass right here. Some aluminum. Last but not least, steel. Maybe a couple dollars worth. $2.50, $3 when the prices are good. 15-20 minutes to take it apart. Next item we're going to take apart is this water pump. Alright, I never took one of these apart, but I assume this plate here has to come off somehow, so I'm going to try that first and see what happens. Alright, I know this has to come out. Probably have to have a puller for this. I don't have a puller, so this ought to be interesting. Not too sure on this one. Alright, that ain't gonna work. Plan B. I think it might be screwed on there. I'm really not for sure. Now, I think that pulley's pressed on there, screwed on there. At this point, I'm really not too sure, so I'm not going to beat around it all day. Take the Sawzall and cut a spot in this aluminum and see if I can crack it. Now, one way or another, we're going to find out how it's connected. Alright, this has proven to be quite a challenge. Got the piece broke off, but I still can't tell if it's screwed in there. I'll try to knock this propeller off of here. Just about got it. Drastic measures. All right. that's a lot of work for a little pig. Well, the answer to the pulley is it's not threaded on there. It's pressed on there somehow. You probably got to have a wheel puller to get it off. Because I know this shaft moves. I can't get it out of there. There's no need to get it out of there now, but it would have been nice to know if it was threaded, if make it easier for taking it apart. So apparently you need a wheel puller to get that off of there to do it the right way. But anyhow, we got it off. Alright, here's what we ended up with on our water pump. I believe this is stainless. It's too hard for aluminum and the magnet don't stick. This all is aluminum. This back here is steel. Was it worth the effort? Not really. Probably took about an hour of beating around on this damn thing. But anyway, we got to find out that this ain't screwed in. So we did learn something. We learned that this pressed in there and you need a puller. So the next one I'll know to get a puller or just throw it in with the steel. Alright, let's move on to something less difficult. I'm going to take this carburetor apart. I think that'll be a little bit easier than a water pump. Alright, here's what we ended up from the carburetor. Got some steel. Got a little bit of brass. I think this is stainless, this little piece here. This is aluminum. There might be copper and brass in here because there's electricity going to it. We'll have to take that apart later. The carburetor, all in all, about probably 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Not bad. Alright, the last thing for today's video is the gas control valve off the grill. We're going to take it apart. Alright, what do we got here? Got a couple in there. There's what we got from the gas control off the grill. Got some steel, a little bit of aluminum, very small amount of brass. Thanks for watching and follow along, and we'll see you guys in the next one.